That's a fair reaction. Oh. Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power. For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.
What's up, Wikimaniacs, and welcome back to Reddit on Wiki, where we judge assholes on a weekly basis and explore the depths of the internet, known as Reddit. I'm your host for this fine Monday episode, 2 weeks in a row because our boy Sean is a busy bee. It is I, your punny Pinoy John. With me, as usual, is the man who will be soon IG famous for his model-like pictures, the sweet prince himself, Mr. Josh Shell.
I don't know if that's true since I'm a private account, so I don't know if you can get famous on a private account.
Wikimaniacs, just hit that follow button on Josh so you can see that shirtless pic. I feel like I have to do that today because Sean is not here and I want to make my boy uncomfortable.
You forgot to shout out the Sean's Venmo so that he...
Oh, there you go.
They get the
if you want
pic.
a free shirt, or if you want shirtless pics, you can send it to Sean's Venmo at Sean SNTPOD. Did I get that right? Hopefully I did.
I think you did, yeah.
Perfect. And joining us today, we have a very special guest, Wikimaniacs. I consider her one of the true gems of the podcast community because of how empathetic and thoughtful she is. Aww. Host of the amazing Reverie True Crime Podcast, Wikimaniacs. Please welcome to the show, Paige.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm so glad to be here. Y'all have no idea. I've been waiting forever, so.
Well, I know we're both big fans of your podcast, so I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has.
And hopefully we can give you a break from, reading true crime cases. And,
yes.
We can...
and you can read borderline true crime cases.
It's true.
Or this is how true crime cases start.
True. Some of them.
It's a prelude, and so hopefully you get the chance to hear some juicy Reddit stories with us today. But Josh, Paige, are you ready to hear the menu for today?
I am.
All right. All our stories today come from our subreddit r/Reddit on Wiki, posted by our lovely Wikimaniacs. So we have from Wikimaniac Hello Peaches 96 and Shadowcat MD from r/True Off My Chest, where OP found out that they've been dating their father for almost 4 months.
Oh my God.
Can we cuss on here?
Oh, you absolutely can.
Because my first reaction was, oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's insane. I'm sad Sean's not here.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to take this because I wanted to do this one when I saw it.
Oh, my God.
And from Wikimaniac user Broadway Muppet from another r/True Off My Chest, where OP is planning to break up with their fiancé today, but their wedding is next week.
Oh.
I mean, at least it's before the wedding.
Ooh.
True.
Yeah.
I guess.
You ain't gonna get your deposits back, but shit.
Yeah. True.
Shut up. I'm not gonna victim blame or anything. We then take a quick ad break and then jump back into another story from Wikimaniac user Finn Artemis from r/Best of Redditor updates. It's kind of a long one with several updates, but OOP stated that they hate their best friend, but they're going to be their bridesmaid anyways.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know how you hate your best friend.
Yeah. I need to
friends now?
definitely hear this.
Yeah.
Yep. Then, final story. And I am sorry, Josh, but I will be stepping on your toes today.
Oh my God.
But since we have a very special guest on today, we got to let Paige have a taste of what Friday episodes are like. So yes, we're going to do an Am I the Asshole cross-posted by both Turtles Can Fly 7 and Flying Plant, where OP asks, am I the asshole for leaving after being told to be quiet at dinner?
Okay. I have seen this one, I think. So.
Oh, sweet.
But I will say this, John, not the asshole, just because you're doing it for Paige. So I'll allow it.
I get a pass.
Week. Yeah.
Paige is my excuse this week.
Any
You're
excuse
welcome.
you can get.
Right. I just needed that excuse.
Yeah.
And as usual, we round out the episode with a This Day in History written by the amazing Alex Underbaki of Weird Distractions podcast. Also, Wikimaniacs, if you enjoy what we do, consider being a patron. You can get ad-free episodes, chance to win merch. We're closing in on 150 patrons, so y'all gonna have 2 chances to win merch now. So that's coming up pretty close.
That's true, yeah.
Congratulations, y'all. That's 150 Patreon members. That is crazy good.
Yeah, our community is amazing at supporting us. We love it.
Yeah, they're so cool. And you get a chance to see our exclusive Hot Ones episode where you can see us die for 30 minutes.
I think it's mostly just you and me dying. Sean took it pretty well.
Sean took it like a champ. If you want to see Sean sweat profusely, then you can see the Hot Ones.
Did you get the Hot Ones? Like, did you order from them?
We got the full box, yeah.
It's my favorite show, so.
Yeah, we did it.
I mean, most of them were good. I'll say that. Most of the sauces are worth getting, for sure.
Yeah.
It's once it gets like beyond 100
six and up.
Scoville units.
I need to know, is the bomb as bad as I think it probably is?
Yeah, it sucked. It has like a lack of taste, but also just like, I don't know, a metallic taste almost.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what it tastes like. It tastes like batteries and death. That's pretty much what it is. Because we have a true crime host today, it tastes like that.
I can be honest, I don't know what batteries taste like.
Don't ask why I know what batteries taste like.
But
I
you
have been a dumbass.
Like that metallic, yeah.
It was gross and hot. Not a fan.
Not a fan either. And also to our wonderful patrons, we'll be sure to give you a special shout out at the end of the episode where you can see me run out of breath because there's a lot of y'all. We also have a subreddit at r/Reddit on Wiki where you can submit or cross-post stories on Reddit for us to read. And it's honestly the easiest way for us to see the stories. And you can get advice from other amazing Wikimaniacs. We also have a private way of getting your personal stories in. I know I've seen a few people submit it already, but I did create a Google Doc that we can link on the show notes if you want to send stories over anonymously. You can also put if there's trigger warnings and all that. So that way we are more aware of your situation. And if you want to speak to us more directly, head on over to our Discord. We got also a lot of people talking over there. We're also on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and other podcast platforms. And don't forget to leave your boys a review. Do it or Sean will call you racist. Make sure you tell us that John and Sean are your favorite, not the white man.
Yeah.
The 2 Asian guys. Or else you're racist.
I've seen a few come in that are just John and Sean are my favorite, and I'm like, I know you did that just to appease them.
That's speaking from privilege right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're also on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. You can head on over to redditonwiki.com for all our information. Usually, we go to housekeeping items where we read reviews and all that, but Wikimaniacs, again, we have a special guest today, and we want to give Paige an opportunity for you all too to learn about our guest. Paige, would you mind telling the Wikimaniacs a little bit more about Reverie True Crime?
Yeah, it's basically, I'm the only host, so it's much different than what a lot of people do with bantering back and forth and stuff. So it's just me narrating true crime stories, or if I need a break from that, I'll sometimes do paranormal or weirder kind of stories, but it's mainly true crime.
I'm sure without guests, you stay on track more than we do.
We don't know how to.
But it is so fun to get the, occasional guest to come on and have that kind of back and forth, because you start to miss that when it's just you talking in your room basically to yourself. So it is good to have guests on every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I actually have a few favorites that you have done that I think the Wikimaniacs is a good starting point. I personally love the series that you did on, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Aileen Wuornos was one of them. Also, you did one with Tara Newell, like a bunch of interviews with her. If you watch Netflix, they were in Dirty John, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
She seemed like she's a wonderful person. In your opinion, Paige, what's an episode that you would want people to listen to if they want to start?
Start
all
from
of them.
No. Don't start from the first episodes. Let's get that out there. Like, don't start with the first 20, let's say, because those are awful with audio, with research, everything, but I kind of left them there. So if people, wanted to, they could see how things kind of progress and grow, but they're not my favorites. And it's kind of embarrassing, but I was like, that's what the process is, and that's the journey of it. So I would say start with any newer ones. Any newer ones is fine with me. Just don't go to number 1 and 2 and 3. Like, don't do that, please.
We always tell ours too, like, please don't listen to them.
Yeah, I mean, it is cool to see like the development of a show though, like where you started versus where you end up. So if you end up like listening to the later ones, definitely go back and just see like how it's changed. I think it's always cool to see.
Absolutely. And we always rep the Cultivate Podcast Network as much as possible. And I know you're also a co-founder of a network of your own. Would you mind plugging Darkcast Network to the Wikimaniacs?
Well, I'm not in Darkcast anymore, but I love no, it's totally fine. No. I love them. Every show on there is amazing. They are straight indie podcasts. They do everything, all the work themselves, as y'all know how it is. I mean, just doing everything on your own, and their shows are great. And I think it's either Darkcast Network or darkcast.wix.com/indie. So everybody can go there and look at all the shows. I mean, I have nothing but love for the Darkcast Network. And it was fun to create, but I got so overwhelmed just doing my show and trying to keep up with the network. I'm sure y'all kind of like understand how hard it is to juggle a network and your show and try to do everything. And I just got so overwhelmed that I had to step back from it. And I hated to do that, but it was necessary for me. So
hey, yeah, no, absolutely. We feel that too. And I know like it can get a little overwhelming sometimes. So absolutely, you got to do what's best for yourself as well as your podcast. So understandably, John clearly didn't do his research.
No.
No, it's fine.
It's not something that we announced or, talked about really. It was just, a very sudden thing, and we didn't feel like we needed to announce it or anything. So.
Yeah. And we can cut that out if you'd like.
I'm good because I love them, and please go listen to their shows. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're breaking news on this podcast, John. That's what people come here for.
And speaking of announcements, and correct me if I'm wrong here again, because I could be. I did see on Instagram that you posted something about that you are hosting your first interactive live show in the first quarter of. Did I get that right this time at least?
Bingo. Yes.
Nice.
See, I did something right this episode. You want to expand on that a little bit, or if there's any other exciting projects that you have lined up?
Yeah, so, okay, this team at moment.co, they contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do my first interactive online live show, and I'm nervous as hell about it because I'm like, what if nobody shows up? That it's just gonna, it's gonna tank, I'm not gonna do well, but you don't know unless you do it. So absolutely. I was like, yeah, sure. And they kind of brought up the idea of doing kind of a Valentine's Day murder theme. So it's going to be before Valentine's Day. We're shooting for Sunday, February 9th. I wanted it to be a weekend. So if anything changes, though, I'll definitely be updating about that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting and something totally new for me.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. I know when we first did our live show, we were like, is people going to show up? But, it turned out well. And we know you have a lot of fans. You have a lot of listeners. So I'm sure they're going to
Not as many as y'all do. Like, y'all are doing a damn good job.
It's all because of TikTok. All right. Well, thanks, Paige, for filling us in news and letting me know that I fucked up.
No.
This is why I don't research anymore, because I am wrong.
I am excited to see the live show, though. I'm excited to see how that turns out. That'll be fun.
Thank y'all.
But yeah, thank you, Paige, for giving us more news.
Thank you for asking and everything. That was fun.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. So the first story, again, this is cross-posted to us by our Wikimaniac, Hello Peaches 96 and Shadowcat MD. And the title reads...
I just remembered what it was.
Me too.
And this is from an r/true off my chest, posted by user Call Me Father Fokker.
Oh my God.
With the title, Found Out I've Been Dating My Father for Almost 4 months.
Oh,
God damn it. This has to be like
biological or step or...
Either way, it's weird.
It is.
Either way.
It's got to be like a case of like her father wasn't around at birth or something like that.
Adoption. Yeah.
And then
surely.
even then,
But
age
still,
difference
it's
would be
like-
weird. So this is a weird story no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my Sean prediction on this story.
And any predictions, Paige, before we get started?
I want to say it's probably an adoption thing, and maybe she definitely didn't know, but God, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm freaking out.
All right, let's start. This is pretty long, and there's also an update after this. So
Okay.
So, throwaway because I can never have anyone know this happened to me. I still have no idea how to process it. Buckle up because this is a long one. Oh, that's what she said. So, I've never met my dad. He ran off when my mom found out she was pregnant with me. My brother was only 8 months old at the time, so he also has no memory of him. There are no pictures of him anywhere, and my mom hates talking about him.
Okay,
All
so
I
Dad's piece of shit already.
Yeah.
Deadbeat. You can tell, yeah, deadbeat already.
Yeah.
All I know is that he was emotionally abusive to her and a real asshole.
There it is.
Horrible. My God. I, 25 male, have a thing for older men. Call it daddy issues or a fetish or whatever you want, but I pretty much only date or sleep with men 40 and up. My family doesn't know this or that I'm gay for that matter. It wouldn't be an issue. They just never ask. We don't really share personal things like that. About 6 months ago, I met David, fake name, duh, at a club. We hit it off great. He's in great shape for his age, supposedly 43, although that's a lie. He's actually 47, as I found out. Really attractive, charming, etc.
Why lie about that?
Yeah, just a couple of years.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
matter.
It's 40s. I don't think about the number that comes after the 4. So
No.
Yeah, just say you're on your 40s.
Yeah.
There's a grace.
at least
estimate
lie and
there.
say you're in your 30s or something.
Right. So he left for a 2-week work trip a few days ago after we met, but we kept messaging each other and I really liked him, which is rare for me. We went on a date after he came back and have pretty much been dating ever since. He has a lot of money and I'm kind of his sugar baby, but that's not the reason I was attracted to him. Definitely a plus.
That would help. Yeah.
It's making up for lost time where he didn't spend any money as a child on
on
his kid.
childcare.
I already know what meme I'm going to use for this as a cover. I don't know if you've seen Parks and Rec where they're like, money please. That's what I'm going to use.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone we were dating except for 2 of my best friends. He also never met any of my friends or family, and I never met his. This changed last night. We were at a restaurant when out of the corner of my eye, I spotted my mom. I don't live at home, and we only usually text if we need something. So I didn't know she'd be there, and to be honest, I still don't know why she was. She hates going out and thinks it's a waste of money. She had not seen us yet, but David noticed me looking at her. I'll forever remember the way his face changed when he saw her.
Oh.
His expression went from his casual, charming smile he always had to this blank, panicked look. I obviously noticed and got a really bad feeling. So I asked him what's wrong, and he just got up and excused himself.
Just like he did 20 years ago or whatever.
I'll be back. I'm going to go to the grocery store and get some milk.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God. I kept asking him where he was going and grabbed him so he couldn't just leave. At this point, I was really confused and suspicious, but I would have never guessed what would happen next. I don't think anything could ever prepare me for it. Ooh, the plot thickens. At some point, while he was getting up, my mother must have spotted us because the next thing I know, she's next to our table, asking me what was going on. I couldn't really pinpoint her facial expression because it looked like she was horrified, but again, at this point, I didn't know David was my father, and she doesn't know I'm gay.
Could you imagine what a mixed signal? She's like, "Oh, my son met his father.
Yes,
this sucks." And then it's like, "Oh, they're dating."
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Holy.
David is visibly uncomfortable and looks like he wants to die. He was literally sweating. I assume this was because he didn't want my mother to know I was dating someone of his age.
No, dude, it's way worse.
So much worse.
I was about to try to explain what was going on to my mom when she said, "Why would you go behind my back like this?" I was so confused because, again, I didn't know he was my dad. So, like, what was she going on about?
Yeah.
She probably assumed I had looked for her and met my father without talking to her about it, despite her telling us how badly he treated her.
Yeah.
To me, however, it seemed like she was acting crazy for no reason. I kind of took it personally and thought she was trying to tell me who to date and what to do. I casually told her that I was just on a date with my boyfriend and I tried to grab David's hand, but he just jumped and ran away.
Oh, no.
He literally bolted like a fucking Olympic runner. Good pun, by the way. I cannot get the fucking image out of my head of him jumping between waiters to get away. Everyone was... That's me after a Hot Ones episode when I needed to take a shit. Get this couch out of the goddamn way.
Yeah.
Everyone was staring at us by this point. It was so embarrassing and I was mortified. Goddamn, this is a long story, guys.
It's interesting, though.
It is worth it, yes. Not TikTok worthy, though, because it's going to be like 10 minutes.
I'll cut some stuff out.
Yeah, you got it. My mom looked like she was frozen in place. I was more confused than ever. I had no idea what was happening. I had assumed she had asked me that because she didn't want me to be gay, which made no sense. She is very open and liberal, or date older men, which made a bit more sense but was still none of her business. But her expression just made my skin crawl. It's like I could feel the horror she must have been experiencing. She just told me to get up and come with her. I was still confused, but something in her body language told me to just do as I was told. I quickly paid for our drinks and appetizers. My mom excused herself to her friends, and once we were in her car outside, we just sat there in silence for what felt like at least 10 minutes. I didn't really dare to say anything. I was still processing that my boyfriend just fucking ran away from me and my mother.
I wish you'd stop calling him that.
Yeah.
I also tried to text him, but he wasn't responding. When my mom spoke, it sounded like she had been shot. She sounded so wounded, and I think it might have haunted me forever. She asked me who that man was, and I explained to her, and I went on about how much I loved him because, again, I was still thinking of David as my boyfriend and assumed my mom's reaction because of his age or gender.
God,
I cannot believe
It's gonna be a movie.
Yeah.
Not a good one, but it could be one.
I cannot believe that I went on about how much I romantically love my dad right to my mother's face. It makes me want to puke. Long story short, she told me he was my father and that she instantly recognized him. That talk was the most traumatic experience of my life.
Can you imagine?
Oh, just both sides.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah.
It's the confusion and the heartbreak on both sides.
I would have threw up so many times.
Yeah, no doubt.
We both started crying at some point and just wept for a while in the car. I was howling. It was fucking primal. I'm not usually emotional.
That's a fair reaction. Oh, David. Dad bed.
Oh, God. No. Oh, this is horrible. I'm not usually emotional or prone to crying, so it was really shocking to me just how much pain a person can feel. Most of it is just a blur now, especially compared to how clearly I remember every moment of the evening up to this. We drove home. I slept in my old bedroom. We haven't talked about it since, but my brother is also staying at our place and he knows something's up. Tried talking to me about it and I just broke down again. How do I ever tell anyone about this? The worst part is I think that despite all of this is I still love David. Just writing that makes me want to throw up. I cannot believe this is reality. Like, how fucked up is all of this? Why did this happen to me? I don't even think I could tell my therapist about this. Actually, you should.
You should.
Yes. Yeah, truly. Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Press the button, Josh. Come on.
Get therapy.
There it is.
There you go. Perfect. I tried messaging David, but I just don't know what to say. The last message I sent him literally just says, please call me. I love you. Like, what the fuck? What the actual fucking fuck? Like, how do I know I come back from this? We gotta, hold on. I have a special guest real quick.
Oh, is it Kevin?
Oh, stop.
It's
Yes.
Kevin.
It's Kevin.
Hi,
He just
Kevin.
fucking- Kevin, you're gonna read this, okay? Okay.
Oh,
I
my
tried.
God.
Where was I?
He's such a cutie.
what the fuck? What the actual fucking fuck? Like, how do I
Reading
come
that
back
with an
from
adorable dog in your
How do I ever look my mom in the eye again, right, Kevin? I haven't left my room yet, and I'm in tears again while writing this. I can't even remember the last time I cried before yesterday, and now I've been doing it nonstop. If anyone has any advice, I would be highly appreciated. Also, feel free to make dark jokes about this. It's my coping mechanism. I also did not proofread this, as I don't think I can bring myself to read it again.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Yeah.
so it might have been actually a story like this on Reddit that I read, and it was an adoption thing. And so there are scientific studies that say when you've been separated at birth and you don't know your mom or your dad, that you can be, there was something like, even if you were born on opposite sides of the country, you somehow can, like, it's a connection that you wouldn't have with like anybody else. And this is more common than people think, which is, oh, he's like, Dad, don't put me down.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah. And I think it all came from a Reddit story about an adoption thing where she ended up with her dad, and they broke down like the scientifics of how common it is, and like, because you have a connection, but you like don't understand why it's so strong, but it's because you're related.
Yeah, because my first thought was like, what are the odds that you're going to, first off, find your father, but then also find them attractive and date them? It's
Yeah.
like, for me, I just the odds are wild that it happened, first off. Also, like, I feel bad for like OP.
Oh yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like searching for love, you know, and you just felt like,
Not only that, but like, your dad fucked you over not once but twice, literally the second time. But
could be 3 times too.
more than that probably. But and like, the trauma that just growing up without a father, that's trauma itself. But then
It's like losing him
date
twice.
someone, yeah,
Yes.
it's such a, and then getting fucked over again by the same person. It's just,
Yeah.
I like that. That's definitely something, as John said, you should go to therapy for.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You should.
I don't know if you tell anyone except your therapist, maybe, and your mom.
Keep it.
And I'm sure she's torn too, because I'm sure she's like, it's not your fault, but also like, that's traumatic.
Yeah.
And like, the thing that I wouldn't say it cracked me up, but it was like the whole situation, how everything unfolded. It's just like that mistaken situation where it's like, oh, my mom is just mad at me because I sought my father out.
Yeah.
And the way how everything unfolded was like, what the fuck just happened?
It's like you searching out your dad and finding him and then behind your mom's back was the best case scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that sucks. It's shitty, and I don't know what else to say about that.
I don't either. I'm like so speechless. All I can think is definitely tell your therapist. And I don't even know if I could probably tell my best friend, maybe. But even then, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
That's going to my grave.
Absolutely. Oh man.
And I'm making my mom sign an NDA.
Right. There is an update, but it is also ridiculously long. So I don't know if we should read it or just link it for the Wikimaniacs to read. It's up to y'all, like how we want to do it.
Can you do a summary?
Yeah, like hit the highlights. Is
the
it like him
highlights.
meeting his dad again? What else could be the update?
Okay, so there's just pretty much the OP is saying like they're not in the right mindset right now where they could take all the things or pretty much all the comments seriously. They did say something that, however, what I do not appreciate is countless people DMing me, asking me questions about my sex life. So I will address this once and for all so y'all can stop, you fucking animals. You know who you are. Yes, we had sex. No, I was not the bottom. I do not subscribe to such outdated and heteronormative ideals of what gay sex is supposed to be like. I am a switch and only date other switches. Yes, the sex was good. I don't date people who are bad in bed. No, I will not continue to have fucking sex with my father, send you nudes, or give you sex stories of this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Anyways,
Jesus. There
you go. Have the tea so you can clearly desire you can fucking leave me alone.
Yeah, Reddit is full of people chronically online.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't questions you ask someone. It's sad that he had to answer that, or felt like the need he had to answer that. Because you didn't need to know that to know this story is as messed up as it is, and I'm sure he knows that. So I don't. Yeah, that sucks.
And then there's also like other updates where it seems like they sought out therapy, so which is good.
Oh, good.
Hey, we love it.
Oh, we love to see it. It says, after consulting my therapist, we decided to just rip it off like a Band-Aid, set him down, and I basically just first told him that, you know, he was gay. So it was just a lot of kind of sad things of how dark the internet can get. And especially for creators like ourselves, like you try to like leave a piece of yourself out there, and then people are just so quick to just say the wrong things, you know?
Yeah, I get it, but also like we put ourselves out there knowing it's going to happen. And
right.
like I said, I've said this a few times, but our YouTube shorts, anyone looking for those comments, I've banned a lot of them. So if you're looking for awful comments, I've banned most of them. But we get them too, and it's like it's going to happen. There's shitty people out there. And I've come to the realization that we're going to get comments like that. So I'm okay with it. It sucks for them. They're trying to express this story and, you know, get it out there in like a way that probably is therapeutic for them. And then they're just getting, I mean, they put it on Reddit, so I don't know what they expect, but
because
it does suck.
Reddit is a cesspool of like problematic stuff, but you tell your story and then they just want more and more and more, and it's just like, why can't you accept what I've told you? Apparently that's all they wanted to tell. So
sometimes we do stories with no updates and people are like, we need an update. I'm like, I can't give you one. I can make one up if you want.
Just pull one out of your ass. Like
they did divulge other stuff, but there is a lot of trigger warning on some of them, and that's something that we kind of don't want to subject a lot of our listeners. But like I said, we will link the edit on the show notes, so that way you can read it for your time. But this is kind of just a call out, you know, like it's easy to like, I mean, we do it. Like, we judge people like just a scenario
the whole premise of the show.
The whole premise of the show. But like, we at least, you know, kind of like we hope people at least look at situation like with some empathy, or at least like towards that approach.
Sometimes we're assholes about it.
You know, to be fair, we do be getting assholes sometimes. But you know, it's just a sad situation altogether. And like you guys said, like this OP experienced multiple losses in so many ways. So
and the same person, you know. Man.
And the mom.
And the mom.
Like, thinking for the mom, like that's tough. I mean, the dad's a piece of shit in both scenarios. A, for not doing the research, and B, like the other thing I thought about was, why are you in the same area if you ran away like that? You could just happen to run into the mom.
Oh yeah.
Really think about that. Maybe move to a different city or something, you know.
Ooh, that one was a lengthy one. So
might be one of our most wild stories.
It is pretty wild. So we're gonna go move on to a next one, and this one is a lot shorter. So it should be a good kind of palate cleanser. But this one is from a Wikimaniac user, Broadway Muppet, and this is another r/true off my chest cross post by user awkward_bat_7027. The title goes, I'm going to break up with my fiance today. Our wedding is next week.
Listen, the amount of stories we've read where it's like a fiance is acting like a piece of shit, and it's like, yeah, you should probably divorce that, or not divorce because you're not married yet, but break that off. This could just be one of those. So I'm open-minded that it's someone that is divorcing or breaking up with someone before it gets bad or worse.
Yeah, I'd like to know like what took so long to get to that point where you're kind of, and I know it feels bad to keep that person hanging on like that too. I mean, I'm sure it does when you know in your heart, like, I don't want to do this. When do I say it? And it's like the week before, boom.
Sometimes it's a moment though where it just, you know, clicks and you're like, oh, this isn't working. We shouldn't be together. you know? So I'm hoping it's that, and not that they led them on for, you know, months on end.
Yeah. All right. The story reads as this. I, 26 female, am engaged to my fiance, 29 male, who is my boyfriend of 6 years. My fiance, who I'll call Jackson, is very picky about how things look, but he has never made any comments about me or the way I do things. I had a beautiful dress for the wedding that was designed by my oldest brother. My oldest brother, who I'll call Percy, was a small-time designer, and he made my sisters and cousins' wedding dresses, and he made one for me when I was 20.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool,
That probably saves a ton of money. Wedding dresses are expensive.
This is when things get sad.
Oh.
No.
Percy had malignant primary cardiac tumor, which is just a long phrase for heart cancer, and was diagnosed when he was 21 and died when he was 23. I've always kept the dress he made me in my closet, and I planned on having it made to my measurements when I got married. I already had it tailored for me. I never showed Jackson the dress, and I never told him who made it. Jackson also never met Percy because I met Jackson after Percy died, and last night I showed him the dress for the very first time, and he said, quote, "Whoever made that dress clearly doesn't know anything about fashion. We're buying you a new dress tomorrow."
Okay, see, I knew this is where this was going, and now I'm having inner rage because I can only imagine how much she probably wanted to rip his head off right then.
I will say this,
Can you
though.
even work that out? I mean, can you?
Well, so here's my thought. He doesn't know that it's her cousin that passed away, or brother that passed away.
Yeah.
I wouldn't come that strong out at a wedding dress, though. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if you really didn't like it, but your wife likes it, or your fiance likes it, that's all that matters, really, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to think they look beautiful in anything. So to come out with those words is a little strong, but he
Yeah.
doesn't know the context behind
Right.
it. So, asshole-ish right now. I know it's not Emma the asshole, but that's just right.
And Paige, you kind of said the magic words there a little bit, so let me continue on.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't say anything and just left to stay with my sister for a night. The mistake I made was leaving the dress in mine and Jackson's apartment after I had
No,
left.
Oh.
no.
When I got back this morning, I found my dress torn to shreds.
Okay, that's
I'm on her.
fucked
I'm
up.
on her side. I have
Yeah.
to. No.
Full asshole now.
I immediately called Jackson and started screaming at him. I told that the dress was one of a kind and couldn't be replaced. He said that I could always just buy another dress, one that actually looks good. Woo, if Sean was here.
Oh, bitch.
I haven't.
Oh my god.
I haven't told him that I'm going to break up with him yet. I plan on waiting until he gets home and talking to him and then going to stay at my sister's house for a while. I feel horrible for what had happened to the dress, and I'm really sad that I'll never be able to walk down the aisle in the one-of-a-kind wedding dress that my big brother made for me before he died.
Bro.
There is a piece of me that wishes like she would wait until she gets there and says, "I don't."
Shows up in the shredded dress.
Yeah.
Walks down the aisle and
Yeah.
then says,
Yeah.
"No, fuck you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that wishes that. And then there's another part that's kind of like, that's not rational. I know that's more emotional.
That shows up on r/petty revenge. That's I agree that sounds like a fun time to do that, but probably not what you should do.
Yeah. What would y'all do in that position? Like if you had a sister that made you this tuxedo and it's super special to you, and you're getting married next week and this happens, what do you do?
Leave. Like,
Yeah. I think I would have approached it much differently, though, with the first part of it. I would have been like, hey, this is like my sister made this. It would really mean a lot to me if I could wear this to our wedding. I know it doesn't fit our like style or whatever. Also, wild that they didn't talk about this before the
Beforehand.
wedding. Like it's only a week before, but like you've been planning for months probably. So I would have gone that, not to blame her because she's absolutely not in the wrong.
Right.
after him shredding the dress that she wanted. So yeah, that's how I would have gone about it. Just been open, and then if they still refused and then ripped the dress, then that's like
Oh yeah.
double asshole because you know the context behind it now.
I personally would just like have dipped out right away just because I think it sets a precedence for a lot of things. Because if you are saying like, hey, I'm not interested in this dress, and that whole time they were together, like he seemed to never like really care about like what choices she made. To me, that's just saying like, okay, the one point where it's like, I disagree with you. I will overrule everything that you just said. And I just kind of create that precedence where it's like, if I don't like something, like you got no say.
Yep.
And that's not the type of relationship I want to be in. So I'd rather cut my losses and say like, fuck it, we might have lost deposits, all the money for this, but this is not the type of person I want to be with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not losing the rest of your life.
Exactly. Money you can always gain back, but like being in a relationship where it's like toxic and like you lose moments and you lose your life over that kind of shit.
Yeah, I agree. It's not worth your mental health and emotional and all. No.
Nope, not at all. All right, so we're gonna cut to a quick ad break. Hopefully you buy some products to shave yourself.
That's usually what I heard.
Yeah, shave yourself before marriage. I don't know. Do something. Buy products or services that supports the show. We'll be right back with Wikimaniacs with more stories. And we are back. We got 2 more stories to get to today before we do our This Day in History and closing the episode off. Y'all ready to get to the second half of the show?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, this is from Finn Artemis, and this is a cross post from r/best of Redditor updates. It's pretty lengthy, but the updates are within the story already. So
I like how you're clarifying every story by it's this long, it's short, it's long.
I just gotta give y'all an idea, like how to brace yourself.
I appreciate it. I know what to get in, whether I can have a sip of water before you get into it.
As long as you're not reading it, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
Okay, and this is from user Prettier Jengis. The title is, I hate my best friend, but I'm going to be her bridesmaid. And for context, this was written on September 19th, 2022, and then the updates are like sequential. Okay. So, I met my best friend 10 years ago when we were 16. I didn't like her at first, but she saw me laughing and decided she was going to be my friend, and so she would constantly make conversation until I couldn't ignore her, and we became best friends. We were both outsiders, with us moving from different schools at around the same time, so we never had other friends but each other in our final years of school. As we have grown up, we kept our friendship and remained just as close. About 4 years ago, I met this boy named Jacob. He was my first boyfriend. I've never been pretty so... I don't know what that says. I've never been pretty, so he was the first guy to show me attention outside of hookups.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't get
there
that.
Should have been a comma probably in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been pretty, so he was. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And don't say that about yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Everyone's pretty. Only ugly personalities.
Yeah, I'm fucking pretty as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Short King John.
Short King. Come on, me and Sean are like the self-deprecating king, so we like to say things about ourselves. But let's not get to that. I've been to therapy enough already.
Yeah, you need to
get therapy.
Oh, I got a lot. Your boy's fucked up.
Oh, we know.
He took me on my first proper date. We started to plan moving in together and discussing our future. I was truly happy. Goddamn, these sentences. But then after a year, he said words that made my stomach drop. He asked me if I would mind he could start dating my best friend. Wait, what?
Wait, yeah. Can you read that sentence over?
That's the only one so far that hasn't made sense.
Yeah.
But then after a year, he said words that made my stomach drop. He asked me if I would mind he could start dating my best friend.
So...
Is this her boyfriend or her... What is
boyfriend?
Okay.
So I'm not understanding who he is unless I just completely
Jacob.
missed...
So the first boyfriend, Jacob is the first boyfriend of the OP.
Okay.
And the OP is gonna be the bridesmaid for Jacob and her
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So
Sorry.
He's asking to date her best friend as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Or just break up and date the best friend.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's... Either way, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Right?
I can tell you the exact details of the day. I had just finished work. I had a really good day because my favorite dog had come in and I was on my way back. My phone rang in the car and Jacob said he wanted to talk. Ooh, the dreaded, I just want to talk shit. He told me he had been talking to my best friend for a while and that he fell in love with her and wanted to know if it was okay to start dating her. She also felt the same way about him, but said he had to get my permission before they took things further out of respect.
Dude, that's I think that's more disrespectful to be like, I'm going to ask her. It's like, if you're going to do it, fucking break up with her and then do it. Yeah.
And then go about your life.
It's almost, it's fucked up either way, but.
Yeah, it is.
But to call her and be like, hey, I want your permission. And then, what? If she doesn't give you your permission, what are you going to do then? Probably still
what
date.
if she says, nah, bro, you got to stay with me.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Sophie, my best friend, has always been the pretty one, which was never been an issue. Of course, she's beautiful. I tell her that all the time. So in my head, it made perfect logical sense. I just said it was fine. I packed Jacob's things out of my house and handed them to him with a smile and congratulated them. It wasn't until the next day I even cried or got angry. But ever since the resentment has been building, it isn't like a, I hate this bitch kind of resentment. I'm still her friend, but it's like, I can't be with her for longer than a few hours or everything she does starts to annoy me.
Bro,
why does she...
If that was my friend who did that to me, it'd be on site.
Be like,
Don't you know?
I'd be throwing hands. I'd be like, and then I would just never talk to them again. I'd be like, fuck, that's not a friend.
The friendship's over at that point. Like if your best friend can date your boyfriend or, current boyfriend at the time, it's just so fucked up. Like you're not a friend.
Yeah. Your friends are supposed to be people you can trust. And then this breaks all the trust that's there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'm still her friend, but it's like I can't be with her for no longer than a few hours or everything she does starts to annoy me. Why does she look at her phone so much? Why does she expect me to buy her so much? Why is everything she says only about her? Why does she talk over everyone? Just those tiny things you used to ignore became unbearable, so I have to make an excuse and go. Well, now, 3 years after a breakup, they are getting married.
Wow.
And she wants me to be the head bridesmaid. I don't want to say yes. The thought of it makes me feel sick.
There's no
I
way
hate my
no.
best right.
No way.
I hate my best friend so much. I don't want to be part of her wedding, but I know I will say yes. Because if I say no, it will make her unhappy and I'd become the bad guy. So I'll be the head bridesmaid whose one and only boyfriend left her for the bride. And I'll smile and act happy. Maybe the universe will have mercy and have a truck run me over on the way to the rehearsal dinner.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'd wish the truck hitting them, not yourself.
Yeah.
So they have a little update. This is a mini update that they got.
Okay.
So I will not be saying yes or no. I think I'm going to just ghost them. I'm moving states anyway, and I can move up the date from mid next year to February if I want. I know that we'll talk. I know what we'll talk shit about my what? I know that we'll talk shit about my behind my back, but I don't care anymore. I won't be able to hear it. I'll be a 3-hour plane ride away. I will also block them on everything. They also don't know I'm moving because they never ask or care, so sucks to be her when she finds out. Because if I don't say no to being a bridesmaid, she will assume yes, and so she will be planning as if I'm involved even if I don't join in.
Oh, man. I mean, that's a... I am at a loss. Like, I don't understand how you could be friends with someone after that. Still.
Yeah.
And then for them to have the balls to ask you to be a bridesmaid, maid of honor.
It's like,
on
read the room, girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, do you not have any empathy or like understanding of how that would feel to be on the other end of that?
Yeah, I know your boyfriend left you for me, but you still want to be my bridesmaid? Like, fuck you. No.
Oh my God.
I would object in a wedding.
Yes, I object.
Bitch, let me tell you.
I don't want him, but I don't want you either.
So they threw another minor update. I spoke to my boss at my new job about moving up the date of my move to early next year, and they said I can move the date up to late November if I want because of the December rush. They will need an extra pair of hands. So I will be gone by the end of the year. I have 2 months to go house hunting and get my stuff down south. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
And now this is their major update. This was written October 21st of this year.
Okay.
It's been a while since I made this post, so I thought I would update you as Sophie now knows I don't like her.
Hopefully your grammar improved over the year too.
It wasn't even a year. It's just like 1 month.
Oh, was it? I thought you said February.
Did I say February?
No, she can bump her move date up to February.
My fault.
Yeah.
I thought it meant this
Maybe
year.
your comprehension skill. Your comprehension skill needs to get.
There's a lot of confusing sentences.
You're right.
Truly.
I'm having a hard time reading this shit, to be honest with you. It's been, oh shit. See, I don't even know where I am. I went to a dinner with me, her sister, and another girl I don't know. They named Allison. The dinner was fine. I didn't really say much because I have been really stressed with work and moving. I've been flying in and out of state trying to sort things out, and my dogs are staying at my mom's house, but one of them just got sick. Basically, I am dealing with enough. At the dinner, Sophie brings up me and my ex and how I brought them together, and I smiled at first and laughed it off because I didn't want to make a big deal out of anything. Allison said in passing she finds it weird that I haven't dated anyone since. I, again, didn't say anything because I am not hung up on him. I'm just not interested in anyone. I have my own busy life, and the thought of coming home from work after spending all day pleasing clients and worrying about another person makes me feel drained.
Yeah, kind of insulting that they're like, why don't you need a man? Like, why don't you have a man?
You don't need that shit.
It's like, do you know what the fuck happened the last time I had a boyfriend? You think I'm going to put myself through that, like, possibly again?
Look at the bitch right across the table from me. That's
God
but also
Sophie.
a strong, independent woman. You don't need a man.
You don't need that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Sophie made a joke about how I'm secretly in love with her fiance and I'm going to ruin the wedding, and
Oh.
everyone just laughs.
Jesus Christ.
I just said I won't go. It was like all emotions just turned off and I couldn't even be angry. I didn't care how any of them felt anymore. I said I'm not going and I am moving so she won't see me anymore. I told her how awful she was and then left. After that, I got flooded with calls and texts from her asking me what was wrong with me, but I just don't care.
Oh my God.
I mean,
went.
I'll say this, to
this-
sit on it for 3 years and not say anything, like I would have said something earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So, not to blame her, but I could see where she's like, oh, I thought you were okay with this. And then it's like, obviously she's not, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, she'd be like,
Yeah.
where'd
Yeah.
this come from? Well, I've been sitting on this for 3 fucking years.
Exactly. Like that girl's thinking, well, she hasn't said anything, so she must be cool with it. And
Yeah.
then it's like, but that's lack of common sense.
Exactly.
That's, oh man. that's just ignorance, stupidity. Oh my God.
So I'm going to finish this last sentence off, or this last paragraph. And Paige, I want you to say the last sentence for me, okay? I'm going to send it on the chat in a bit.
Okay.
I want you to read it the most dramatic way you can say it. But let me just
Oh.
finish this off real quick. I went to work and told them I'm taking my leave, which I was going to get paid out now, and I'm not working. I'm staying with my aunt in the state I'm moving to, and I move into my house next week. My dogs join me in 2 weeks, and yeah, it's not a huge story. I think I emotionally burnt out. It feels like all this anger built up and then like a sparkler just ended. I don't even want to think about them anymore. I just want to move on and pretend that chapter of my life never existed. And Paige, go ahead and say this shit out loud for me if you can read it.
Oh my God. So fuck you, Sophie. I hope your cake has salt in it instead of sugar, and I hope you spill red wine in your white dress. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I hope for much worse, but those are
Yeah.
good things.
Exactly.
Holy. I think we said all we need to say. That was like, that's just a shitty friend. The audacity of her to ask you to be her
Right.
maid of honor. And then, I mean, even for the boyfriend to go behind your back originally. And like, it's 2 people that you trust going behind your back to fuck you over basically.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, fuck you over again by putting you into an awkward situation where you have to say no, because I mean, I wouldn't be okay with that. I understand why you wouldn't want to go. That's shitty.
To me, I'm getting the vibe that, first of all, Sophie is the biggest bitch in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm also getting the vibe from the boyfriend where he kind of, in my head, I picture him that, well, I'm the nice guy. I didn't cheat on her. I
asked her
I asked her for permission.
Yeah.
Like,
He emotionally cheated on her.
yeah,
for,
I think I'm justified. Like I'm a
Yeah.
nice guy. I deserve this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just getting that vibes. All right. Well, we're down to our last story, and again, stepping on Josh's toes this week. So,
how could you?
you know what? My people has been down for so long. We're gonna take something from the white man for once.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You already
So
took
I'm
the
taking your
reviews.
shit. I'm gonna take it all, buddy. All right, this last story was sent to us by one of our favorites, Turtles Can Fly 7, and also
yeah.
Flying Plant. The title is, Am I the asshole for leaving after being told to be quiet at dinner?
Potentially.
Any guesses so far?
Okay, it depends on why they asked you to be quiet.
I feel like screaming at the wait staff. That's fair.
All right.
Yeah,
can
it
get to
depends. It depends.
The title probably makes it sound worse than it was, but I'm still conflicted. And you could see in the little background right there, he's going
see Kevin.
crazy right now. He's having his little dinner right now. You shut up at dinner, Kevin. Just kidding. My female 21 boyfriend, 24 male, of almost a year, invited me to dinner. I know.
That was his response to you.
Yeah.
No, he's like, you don't tell me to shut up. Oh, sorry. My female 21 boyfriend, my 21 female
Oh, now he
boyfriend,
struggles with
24
it.
male, of almost a year, invited me to dinner with his family. And in parentheses, they put mom, dad, and his 16-year-old brother as well. Never met them prior to that. The only thing I knew about them is that they're conservative and Christians, but lovely people.
Okay. Okay.
Let's not get there.
Yeah.
And they were. I got along really well with them before dinner. They were lovely and talkative. When it was time for dinner, my boyfriend's dad wanted to pray. After praying, he said something along the lines, quote, "Let us dig in and let the food keep us quiet." This is pretty popular saying in our country, mostly told to young children in school. My understanding of this has always been that you shouldn't speak with food in your mouth or be extremely loud at the table. I wouldn't say it's a cultural thing though.
I agree with the food in your mouth thing. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
It is gross.
Yeah.
It was so awkward having to talk and when we were doing that episode where we were
wings,
eating.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just, I don't care how hot it is, I'm just going to swallow this right now. So I know what you. I dug in, took a bite. It was fish soup. Absolutely delicious. And like a good guest, I wanted to compliment the cook. "This is delicious. Is it saffron? A perfect autumn soup." My boyfriend's brother looked surprised. My boyfriend's father hushed me big time.
Okay.
A really aggressive shh with a finger over
Did they
his
just
lip.
eat in silence then?
Yeah, that's the thing. I guess so.
That's
Oh,
wild.
God.
And then he said again, quote, "Let the food keep us quiet." I apologized because I thought I had accidentally spoken with food in my mouth or something. But a few minutes passed and nobody said a word.
What the fuck?
Super awkward and weird, especially since they had been so talkative before. My boyfriend was also unusually quiet. After a few minutes, I was too weirded out and asked about their day and how nice it was that they invited me there. And his mother did the hush thing too. So awkward. I think this is when it clicked. No speaking at all at the table. Let the food keep us quiet, really quiet. But this was a super awkward situation and I couldn't deal with that. Imagine sitting at a table with 5 people, everybody eating soup, looking dead serious. So I laughed. It just slipped out. Ended up being told off by boyfriend's parents that I was being disrespectful, etc. And if I didn't respect how their household worked, I could eat alone in the kitchen. So I thanked them for the food and left to the hotel. My boyfriend later told me that was an asshole move, that I should have just kept quiet or eat alone in the kitchen. I understand their family traditions and rules, but I was so weird. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Was I being an asshole though?
No.
I don't think so. It would have been so weird for me that I might have just gotten up and just left. Just be like, this is awkward.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's a wild situation that I couldn't even imagine being in.
Right. And when
Like-
you go into it and you don't know that's what they mean, when, they didn't explain it to you, as it being like, you do not speak at all. While
No,
we're,
they explained it in riddles.
yeah. Just saying hush.
The boyfriend's an asshole for not briefing her about it,
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, the family is an asshole for not, elaborating on that well.
Exactly.
After the first time and being like, oh, we don't talk during dinner.
Yeah,
which is
if you can
wild.
say as much as "let the food keep us quiet," then you can elaborate on what the fuck you're talking about. Like,
Yeah, you're breaking your own rule by reading
Exactly.
that rule.
yeah.
And also, wild choice of food to be quiet. Soup. Of all things, you slurp that shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna hear
I
a room
would-
full of
Yep, and see, I would be the person to start cracking up and laughing just because of
Oh,
the soup
yeah.
noises, because I am, and truly, I am a 12-year-old little boy who thinks everything is funny, and, I can't.
I'm built like a 12-year-old little boy.
That was your humor, John. So you'd be there too laughing.
True. Me and Paige will get hushed.
Yeah.
Maybe me and Paige are gonna be in the kitchen eating.
Yes. Exactly.
I'd honestly rather that eating in the
Yeah.
kitchen alone.
Yeah.
That sounds more fun, to be honest.
Yeah, that's awkward. That's awkward.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. It seems like we're gonna go not the asshole. but
Yeah,
like the
I'm
family.
going to say no,
think
you're
so.
not.
Again, this is not a shot on anyone's culture. If that's your
Right.
tradition and culture, by all means,
Explain
Do
it
all that.
beforehand, though, is what I'm
yes,
saying.
yes.
Yeah.
give the opportunity for people to understand that's what you guys do.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, if he would have known all that and then
And she still did.
gotten up and left, then yes, you would be the asshole for not respecting the culture. But if you don't know, you don't know.
Bam.
Exactly.
That is the perfect way to close it off, Paige. So that is it for the Reddit portion of our episode. Stick around for This Day in History, written by Cultivate's very own and Weird Distractions podcast host, the lovely and amazing Alex Underbaki. We'll be right back, Wikimaniacs. What's up, Wikimaniacs, and welcome to This Day in History. This is a weekly series where we take a break from the wild tales we find on Reddit and bring you back in time to learn more about what happened on this day throughout history. Today's date is November 21st, and we're turning the clocks back 102 years ago and heading to Dublin, Ireland. Trigger warning for this week's segments, as things are about to get violent, which may not be suitable for some listeners. Speaking of Dublin, Ireland, my wife is there right now living her best life, and I am stuck babysitting this little cutie named Kevin. If you hear him right now being bratty, I do apologize. He is very needy, so I am taking care of this little puppers right now. So, to the story. Now, many Apple users may feel triggered with the mentions of the band U2, who automatically has their album downloaded to every new iPhone 6 across the globe. Nonetheless, U2 is typically known for the catchy tunes and songs with some political meaning behind them. Take Sunday, Bloody Sunday from their album War, for example. According to reports, the song focuses on the 1972 Bloody Sunday incident in Derby, where British troops shot and killed unarmed civil rights protesters. How many listeners knew that? This is distracting. But did you know there was another Bloody Sunday in Ireland? Morbid fact, there are many events referred to as Bloody Sunday across the world: Canada, England, United States, Poland, and more. For today's segment though, as mentioned, we're going to focus on the Bloody Sunday that took place in 1920. So prior to November 21st of 1920, Ireland was in war, in fact a guerrilla war to be exact. Not sure what a guerrilla war is? Well, neither was our writer Alex, who wondered at first if it may have had something to do with a zoo or gorillas, RIP Harambe. Giggles aside, a guerrilla war, in a direct quote from the Britannica website, is a type of warfare fought by irregulars and fast-moving scale actions against orthodox military and police forces, and on occasion against rival insurgent forces, either independently or in conjunction with a larger political military strategy. This warfare reportedly took place between 1919 and 1921, but many believe that acts of violence took place before and afterwards in response to this whole situation. From what was gathered online, the Irish Republican Army, referred to usually as the IRA, like my Roth, who's empty right now, waged in this guerrilla war against British forces. The Royal Irish Constabulary, I cannot read, referred to as the RIC, a police force, and the British Army, who were tasked with handling the situation. By handling it, we mean they were asked to get rid of what the British government would probably consider a problem. There is a lot of history and events that took place from 1919 to the event we're discussing today. So, we'd recommend taking a listen to the podcast The Irish at War for more information and perhaps to get more details. But let's speed things up to November 21st. All parties involved were involved in harming one another, and it seemed like the boiling pot of tension and unrest from both the British and the Irish was about to spill over. This is where Michael Collins come in. According to Wikipedia, Michael Collins was the Irish Republican Army's Chief of Intelligence and Finance Minister. He was then reportedly part of a squad made up of 12 men who were assigned to assassinate prominent RIC officers and British agents. That's not all, they also had suspected informers on their hit list. I know, Kevin. After a close call with losing some of their own, it's been alleged that Michael made the suggestion to turn things up a notch and ordered the assassination of British agents in Dublin. During the evening hours on November 20th, the leaders of these assassination teams, which included the squad and members of the IRA's Dublin Brigade, were briefed on their targets, which included 20 agents at 8 different locations in Dublin. This was to take place the next day. According to the website The Irish History, by November 21, members of the IRA, including the brigade and the squad, reportedly launched a mass assassination attack on British intelligence officers. This attack ended in the deaths of 14 men, of whom at least 8 were intelligence officers. In an act of horrific revenge, a force of the Royal Irish Constabulary, I can't read that word, constabulary, I know, Kevin, it makes me sad that I can't read. I know. And auxiliaries shot dead 15 innocent civilians at a football match in Dublin's Croke Park. Due to the number of lives lost, November 21st was deemed Bloody Sunday. Michael reportedly stood by the decision to act out in the following quote, taken from Wikipedia. "My one intention was the destruction of the undesirables who continued to make miserable the lives of ordinary decent citizens. I have proof enough to assure myself of the atrocities which this gang of spies and informers have committed. If I had a second motive, it was no more than a feeling such as I would have for a dangerous reptile. By their destruction, the very air is made sweeter. For myself, my conscience is clear. There is no crime in detecting. In wartime, the spy and the informer. They had destroyed without trial. I have paid them back in their own coin. The aftermath of this horrific scene, among others that would take place, seemingly would lead to more of support for the IRA. But by the end of 1920, reports claimed that upwards of 500 people had lost their lives. The violence wouldn't cease in 1920. Within the first 6 months of 1921, around 1,000 people were killed in the fighting. Some speculate that the death toll in relation to the war may be over 2,500. The political results from all of this allowed for the creation of an independent Irish Free State. Since 1948, the Republic of Ireland and fully independent, and Northern Ireland, which remained part of the United Kingdom. Have you ever heard of this event before today? Let us know on our social media accounts or on our Cultivate Podcast Network Discord. Also, thank you for tuning in for today's This Day in History segment. This segment wouldn't have been made possible without the following resources: Wikipedia's Bloody Sunday, Wikipedia's Sunday Bloody Sunday, Wikipedia's Song of Innocence of U2's album, the Irish at War podcast, Guerrilla Warfare by Robert Brown Asprey, and the Irish history website, the Irish War of Independence. Also want to say a big thank you to our writer Alex Underbaki for providing this amazing script. And Kevin is now going to say thank you to our wonderful patrons before he bites my finger off. So, as usual, we can't end this episode without saying thank you to all our awesome patrons. Kevin's going to help me read this out loud. Yes, I know, boy. Thank you to our amazing patrons: Vina, Lindsay, Gabby, Aaron, Taru, Alex, Valentina, Micah, Yulia, Katie, Lorena, Christina, Dan, Phantom Fox, Susan, Freenome, Sarah, Marianne, Miss Doolittle, Jasmine, Alexis, Michelle, Danielle, Crystal, Jen Miller, Naya, Lena, Diana, Catherine, your girl Diana, our favorite troll Drella, you silly boy, Kieran, Risa, Tiffany, Chantel, Marine, Dominique, Amber, Carter, Corey, Elizabeth, Jen, Ekaterina, Love D'Andy, Carrie Berry, Rachel Sanders, Dan, Paula, Ringo, Casey, there's more, Caitlin, Zantalo, Sasha, Ashley, Nelly, Itzo, Noah, Reed, Amber, Losalini, Sky, Andy, Saskia, Ariori, Lil Rosie, Brittany, Haley, Cecily, Ashley, Ali, Michelle, Jacqueline, Shirtless Josh Stan, who is that? Wow. Amanda, Neen, Mary Elena, Rihanna, Caroline, Kate, Juice Machine, Christine, Rhiannon, Stephanie, Rhonda, Apolline, Renee, Kawina, Aaron, Jillian, Andrea, Kelsey, Caitlin, Velvet, Mole, Kite, Christine, Evelyn, Hugh, Karena, Sarah, Woody, Maida, Thor. Last page, Kevin. Linnea, Tegan, Julia, ow, he's biting me. Sherry, Jennifer, Carol, Alyssa, Marjorie, Sunnylicious, Lillian, Siddhartha, Shifty Sphinx, Brittany, Rebecca, Alyssa, Gabriel, Karen, Jamie Lee, Iona, Alexandra, boy, if you don't stop, Indira, Chi, Lani, K, Nate, Maurice, D, Junsu, Ali, Alan, shout out to my boy, Leslie, Chelsea, Elizabeth, Jory, Jordan, Victoria, and last but not least, Tabitha. Thank you so much. Ow, he is biting the shit out of me. Thank you so much, Wikimaniacs. He is teething, by the way. See how precious he is. Probably saw him earlier this episode, but he's 9 weeks and he's a menace. And look at that little chubby tummy. Oh, Kevin. Thank you, Wikimaniacs. We do appreciate all your support, and we'll see you next time. Close off the episode with the rest of the gang. Peace. I know. Say bye, Kevin. That's it this week, Wikimaniacs. What did you think of this episode? Are you now craving soup like I am? Again, big thank you
Saffron
to
soup.
Saffron is really good. Saffron be fucking expensive, bro.
Yeah.
For a little bottle, I'm like, damn, that shit is expensive. But anyways, it's delicious. Again, big thank you to Paige for being such an amazing guest. Thank you for that dramatic reading, by the way. I kind of just threw that on you, and you did an amazing job with that. We hope you had fun joining us today and taking a break from researching cases to judge people with us. But Paige, before we hop off, would you like to tell the Wikimaniacs where they can find you and Reverie True Crime?
Yeah, Reverie True Crime is on all podcasting platforms. I don't do YouTube because the comments, I know they can be mean and brutal, so I don't do that. But
I'll say this, our full episodes are fine, but yeah, the shorts and stuff, awful people there. So I can only imagine.
Yeah. And on Twitter, Reverie Crime Pod. And everywhere else, Tumblr, in case, Twitter explodes within, the next day or two because of Elon. I'm on Tumblr, Facebook, and
He's
Instagram. Yeah. That's all Reverie True Crime, so.
Tumblr's still around. That's the most shocking thing, yeah.
And,
I only go there for one reason.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Don't.
You don't.
If you know, Wikimaniacs.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow us on social media as well. We're on everywhere. Maybe leave Twitter. I don't know. We'll leave Twitter or something.
We're not on Tumblr. I know that
We're
for
not
sure.
on Tumblr because I'm running social media and I will be distracted if I'm on Tumblr. But you can join us on our Discord and our subreddit, r/Reddit on Wiki. And make sure you tell your friends all about us and tell your friends about Reverie True Crime Pod as well. We will see you this Wednesday and Friday for another Ask Reddit Wednesday episode and another Am I the Asshole episode. But until then, Wikimaniacs, toodles.
Bye. Thanks for coming on, Paige.
Yay!
Thank y'all.
Just do it.
Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.